Hey everybody, this is lesson 2. Our objective is we will use unit rates and proportional relationships to solve ratio problems. The word that they left out there was word. These are going to be word problems, okay? But if you notice our vocab, we're very familiar with proportional relationships, ratios, unit rates, all stuff we've done before. The only difference here is that we're going to be tackling those word problems, okay? My preferred way to solve these is with proportions, okay? And this is how I do all these problems. I'm always expecting to have a proportion. Proportion meaning two fractions that are equal to each other, okay? And what I'm always going to do in the problem is I'm going to look for the rate, okay? And it even says in this problem at this rate. So let's read the problem. Nigel is selling candy bars for his outdoor club. He is averaging 4 bars every 3 days. This is his rate, 4 to 3, okay? I'm going to write a word ratio. This is really super helpful. I highly recommend it. Bars over days. Okay? So that's how we start out, and then for the rest of the problem, look at the question. How many days will it take to sell his box of 36? And that means we don't know the number of days, that's our variable, and 36 is the number of bars that we're trying to solve for. How are we going to solve this? Well, I mean, if you're quick enough with your math facts, you might notice that 4 times 9 would be 36, and then you could just multiply 3 times 9 to get the answer, which would be 27. But if you don't notice that, let's do it a way that always works, and that is using cross products. So it's just sort of a fun fact about proportions that whenever you have two fractions equally to each other, top times bottom will always equal bottom times top. So 4 times x here will equal 3 times 36. And then you could just solve 4x equals 108. And to solve this equation, we're going to divide on both sides by 4. Do the same thing on both sides to keep that equation balanced. If you don't do the same thing on both sides, the two sides won't be equal anymore. Okay, so final answer here, 4 over 4 equals 1, so we get 1x, and then 108 divided by 4 is going to be 27. So same answer here, 27 days. Okay, and again, the important parts of this process are identifying the rate. Okay, that was here, 4 bars every 3 days. Then I wrote this word ratio here. Okay, and that helped me figure out that the 36 needed to be in the numerator and the x needed to be in the denominator. So that was important too. All right, let's look at this other part, which is, this is a quick check problem. This is item 5 from your quick check. Okay, I wanted to show you this because it is relating it to the idea of tables that we covered in our last unit on ratio and proportion. And so here we have Jesse. He uses 13 pints of paint for 5 paintings. So that's one rate or ratio. How many pints does he use for each painting? So how many for one painting? How many paintings will he complete if he uses 44 pints? So we don't know what that is. And then how many pints will he need for 29 paintings? So unfortunately, this is 3 problems in one, okay? But they can be solved the exact same way as the other one. The first thing I would look at is this ratio here. This is pints to paintings. So I'm going to check, and it looks like they all are. You have 13 to 5, 13 to 5, pints to paintings, 13 to 5, 13 to 5. So the ratio they gave us is correct in all the answer choices. Darn, I was hoping we could eliminate one, but we can't. Okay, so let's make our word ratio. And then we'll make our proportions. Okay, we want to know how many pints would this equal for one painting. This one's going to be our unit rate. So I'm going to divide by 5 to get this answer. You can do this part in the calculator. 13 divided by 5. Oops. Equals 2.6. Okay, let's look and see if any of them have the unit rate of 2.6 pints to one painting. Ooh, look, this one has it. This one's wrong. Look at this one. 13 pints for one painting. No, that got us 5 paintings. Look at this one. 0.38 for one painting. Nope. This one is still right. Okay, so if I didn't have this already graded and know it, I would have to keep working. All right, so I checked this one. I eliminated 2 wrong answers. Let's go ahead and look at 44 pints and see if we can figure out how many paintings that would make. All right, so this time I have the number of pints and I don't have the number of paintings. 44 pints, how many paintings would that be? I don't know. And furthermore, you guys, I don't know how many times 13 goes into 44. So I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. "13 times the quantity we don't know will make that x. That will equal 5 times 44. Okay, 5 times 44, I'll go ahead and try that in here. 220. So now I have 13x equals 220, and I'm going to solve that. It's an equation. Okay, let me move my camera over here. So 13 times my unknown amount. To undo times 13, I'm going to divide by 13. I'm going to do it on both sides. That keeps my equation equal on both sides. 13 over 13 is 1. So I have 1x, or just x. 22 divided by 13, 220 divided by 13. Oh, look, my 220 is already there, so I can just divide by 13, and I get 16.92, or 16.9, I'll maybe round to. And then we'll look for it. 16.9 paintings goes with 44. So I'm looking here at this one. 44, they say, is 114 paintings. No way, Jose. Look at this one. 44 goes with 16.92. So this one truly is it. And then I don't have to check the last ratio, okay, because the process of elimination. I think the most important part, the big takeaway from this video, is write yourself a word ratio. Okay, use it to keep things in the right spot, and then cross multiplying. Top times bottom equals bottom times top when you have a proportion. All right, thanks.